The Cause of Death. Dr. Lee was a researcher at Site-19 assigned to study SCP-1654, a book that supposedly contained the secrets of the universe. He had been working on it for months, trying to decipher its cryptic language and symbols. He was obsessed with finding the truth behind the book, even if it meant risking his sanity and life. One day he decided to take SCP-1654 to his office without anyone's permission. He locked the door behind him and opened the book on his desk. He stared at the pages, hoping to find some clue or pattern that would unlock its mysteries. He felt a strange sensation in his head, as if someone was trying to communicate with him. He ignored it and continued to read. He did not notice that the time passed by, nor the alarms going off in the facility. He did not hear the screams of his colleagues or the gunshots of the security personnel. He did not see blood seeping under his door or the smoke filling the air. He did not care about anything else but SCP-1654. He finally reached the last page of the book, where he saw a single word written in large letters: Cause. He felt a surge of excitement and curiosity. He wondered what it meant, what it implied, what it revealed. He leaned closer to the word, trying to see if there was anything hidden or encoded in it. He touched the word with his finger, and everything went black. He woke up in a dark room, surrounded by monitors and wires. He felt a sharp pain in his chest where a metal device was attached to his heart. He saw a man in a white coat standing next to him, holding a clipboard and remote control. "Hello, Dr. Lee," the man said. "Welcome to Project Calls." Dr. Lee tried to speak, but no sound came out of his mouth. He realized he had a tube down his throat, preventing him from talking. The man smiled and continued. "You're probably wondering what's going on. Well, let me explain. You see, SCP-1654 is not just a book. It's a key across the ultimate source of knowledge and power in the universe, the cause." The man pointed at one of the monitors, where Dr. Lee saw an image of a swirling vortex of light and darkness. "This is the cause," he said. "It is the origin and the end of everything that exists. It is beyond our comprehension and control. It is what we have been searching for all this time." Dr. Lee felt a surge of fear and awe. He wondered what the man wanted from him, and from the cause. The man continued, "You are one of the few people who have been able to read SCP-1654 without losing your mind or dying. This means you have a special connection to the cause. You can sense it, feel it, maybe even be influenced by it." The man pressed a button on his remote control, and Dr. Lee felt a jolt of electricity run through his body. "The device on your heart is connected to the cause," the man said. "It allows us to monitor your vital signs, your brain activity, while you're exposed to the cause's energy. It also allows us to stimulate or suppress your heart rate as we please." Dr. Lee felt another jolt of electricity, making him gasp for air. "We want you to do something for us," the man said. "We want you to use your connection to the cause to manipulate reality as we wish. We want you to create or destroy anything we ask you to." Dr. Lee felt a wave of horror and disbelief. He realized that he had been used as a tool for some unknown agenda. The man pressed another button on his remote control, and Dr. Lee saw an image of a city on fire on one of the monitors. "This is New York," the man said. "We want you to make it disappear." Dr. Lee felt a surge of anger and resistance. He refused to comply with such an insane request. The man pressed another button on his remote control, and Dr. Lee felt an intense pain in his heart. "That was your punishment for disobeying us," the man said. "We can make you suffer as much as we want." Dr. Lee felt tears running down his face. He wished he could escape this nightmare. The man pressed another button on his remote control, and Dr. Lee saw an image of his wife and daughter in one of the monitors. "This is your family," the man said. "We have them in our custody." Dr. Lee felt a surge of love and despair. He recognized him as his wife Helen and his daughter Lily. The man pressed another button on the remote control, and Dr. Lee heard gunshots in one of the monitors. "That is your daughter," the man said. "We just killed her." Dr. Lee felt a burst of grief and rage. He saw his daughter's lifeless body on the screen. The man pressed another button on his remote control, and Dr. Lee heard another gunshot on one of the monitors. "That is your wife," the man said. "We just killed her too." Dr. Lee felt a blast of sorrow and hatred. He saw his wife's bloody corpse on the screen. The man pressed another button on his remote control, and Dr. Lee saw an image of himself on one of the monitors. "That is you," the man said. "We are going to kill you too, unless you do what we want." Dr. Lee felt a surge of fear and hopelessness. He saw his own terrified face on the screen. The man pressed another button on his remote control, and Dr. Lee felt a final shock in his heart. "This is the cause," the man said, "and it's your only chance to survive." Dr. Lee felt a sudden connection to the cause. He felt its power and presence in his mind. He realized he had a choice: to die or to live. He chose to live. He used his connection to the cause to manipulate reality as he wished. He created a massive explosion that destroyed the facility where he was held captive, killing everyone inside, including the man in the white coat. He escaped from his prison and fled to the outside world, where he saw chaos and destruction everywhere. He realized he had unleashed the cause's energy upon the planet, altering its natural course of order and balance. He did not care. He lost everything he loved and cared about. He had nothing left to live for, except for revenge. He decided to use his connection to the cause to wipe out humanity, the source of his suffering and misery. He chose to be the cause of death.